Steve Jobs. Everyone knows the name, the turtleneck, the jeans, the one more thing theatrics. He's the visionary who brought us the iPod, the iPhone, the Macintosh. A goddamn American icon, or so they say. But even gods bleed, don't they? Behind the sleek presentations and the carefully crafted image, even Jobs had his share of failures. Products that crashed and burned, ideas that never left the drawing board. Today we're going to lift the veil on those failures. Those missteps that most want to forget. We're going to see what happens when even a titan like Jobs stumbles. Now Jobs, he always had a taste for the dramatic, for the next big thing. He was a visionary, a man who saw the world not as it was, but as it could be. From the Macintosh to the iPhone, he had a knack for turning the ordinary into the extraordinary. So naturally, he sets his sights on the automotive industry. He saw cars as the next frontier, a space ripe for innovation and disruption. The idea of an Apple car wasn't just a whim, it was a calculated move to revolutionize yet another industry. The year is 2008, Detroit's on its knees, and Jobs smells blood in the water. The automotive industry was in turmoil, and he saw an opportunity to bring Apple's design and technological prowess to a new arena. He starts sniffing around talking about electric cars, autonomous vehicles, the whole shebang. He envisioned a future where cars were not just modes of transportation but smart devices on wheels, integrated seamlessly with our digital lives. Thinks he can waltz in and disrupt another industry. With the same confidence that brought us the iPod and the iPhone, he believed he could reshape the automotive landscape. But even a man of his stature couldn't will this one into existence. The complexities of the automotive industry proved to be a formidable challenge, even for someone as determined as Jobs. The iPhone was their golden goose, and they weren't about to risk it all on a fancy car. The success of the iPhone was unparalleled, and diverting resources to a car project seemed too risky. So, Project Titan, as it was called, got kicked to the curb. The ambitious plans were shelved, and the dream of an Apple car faded into the background. Years later, under Cook, that spineless sycophant, they tried to revive it. Cook, ever the cautious leader, saw potential in the project and decided to give it another shot, poured billions into it, but the whole thing was cursed from the start. Despite the massive investment, the project was plagued with issues from day one. Delays, technical issues, you name it. The project faced one hurdle after another, and progress was painfully slow. Finally, after years of wasted time and money, they pulled the plug. The dream of an Apple car was officially over, a casualty of ambition and reality. A rare moment of sense from those clowns in Cupertino. In the end, they realized that some dreams are better left unchased, and the Apple car became a footnote in the company's storied history. Jobs, he always wanted to control the living room. He had a vision that extended beyond just computers and phones. He saw the living room as the next frontier, a place where technology could seamlessly integrate into our daily lives. He thought he could do to television what he did to music with the iPod. Just as the iPod revolutionized how we listen to music, he believed a new kind of TV could revolutionize how we consume media. He envisioned a TV set that was more than just a screen, something that would be the center of your digital life. It would be a hub for all your entertainment, communication, and even home automation needs. Seamless integration with Apple devices, iCloud, the whole 9 yards. Imagine a world where your TV, phone, and computer all work together effortlessly, sharing content and functionality, but it never got off the ground. Too ambitious, even for him. The technology wasn't quite there, and the market wasn't ready for such a leap. They ended up settling for that pathetic little Apple TV box. It was a compromise, a far cry from the revolutionary product Jobs had imagined. A pale imitation of his grand vision. Users were left wanting more, and the competition quickly took advantage of this gap. And you know what? The competition ate their lunch. Companies like Samsung and LG saw the opportunity and ran with it, creating smart TVs that captured the market's imagination. Samsung, LG, they all swooped in and took over the smart TV market. They offered features and integrations that Apple could only dream of at the time. Apple, they were left playing catch-up, all because they couldn't execute on Jobs' grand plan. It was a missed opportunity, one that still haunts the company to this day. Now the Lisa, named after his daughter no less. You'd think he'd put more care into it. It was groundbreaking, I'll give him that. The first personal computer with a graphical user interface, a mouse, the works. But groundbreaking doesn't always mean successful. It was a colossal flop. Cost a bloody fortune, 10 grand a pop. Who the hell did they think they were selling to? And the software, clunky as hell. Even Jobs himself, the supposed genius behind it all, couldn't make it work. He ended up getting kicked off the project, banished to the wilderness. The Lisa was eventually discontinued, a costly reminder that even Jobs could make mistakes. The Power Mac G4 Cube, a beautiful failure. Now this one, the G4 Cube, it was a thing of beauty. A sleek, compact machine unlike anything else on the market. It was a marvel of engineering, a true testament to Apple's commitment to pushing the boundaries of design and technology. The Cube was small, elegant, and almost futuristic in its appearance, a testament to Jobs' obsession with design. But beauty, as they say, is only skin deep. The Cube's design was revolutionary, but it came with its own set of problems. It was a piece of art, but art doesn't always translate to practicality. The damn thing overheated like a furnace. And the price? Outrageous. It was marketed as a high-end product, but the performance issues and the steep price tag made it a hard sell. Consumers were not willing to pay a premium for a computer that couldn't handle basic tasks without overheating. They tried to position it as a premium product, but consumers saw right through it. The market was unforgiving, and the Cube's flaws were too glaring to ignore. People wanted reliability and performance, not just a pretty face. It was a sales disaster. But here's the thing about Jobs. He never let a good failure go to waste. He saw every setback as an opportunity to learn and innovate. The G4 Cube's failure was a stepping stone, a lesson in the importance of balancing form and function. The G4 Cube might have the Pippin gaming console ahead of its time. The Pippin. Oh God, the Pippin. Jobs, in his infinite wisdom, decided that Apple should get into the gaming business. A gaming console that was also a computer. What could go wrong? Well, everything, as it turned out. The Pippin was DOA. Expensive, underpowered, and with a pathetic library of games. It was like trying to sell a Yugo during a Ferrari convention. They pulled the plug after just a year, tails between their legs. A rare misstep for a company that usually had its finger on the pulse of the consumer. Ping, the music social network nobody wanted. Remember Ping? Of course you don't. Jobs, in his infinite arrogance, decided that what the world needed was another social network. But this one would be different. It would be all about music. You could connect with friends, share playlists, discover new artists. Problem was, nobody asked for it. Nobody wanted it. The interface was clunky, the features were half-baked, and the whole thing was riddled with spam. It was like a bad karaoke night that refused to end. Mercifully, they put it out of its misery after 2 long years. The hockey puck mouse design overusability. And then there's the infamous hockey puck mouse. Released with the iMac G3, it was supposed to be revolutionary. A perfect sphere, a triumph of minimalist design. Problem was, it was bloody impossible to use. Customers hated it. They couldn't tell which way was up, their hands cramped up trying to use it. It was a design disaster of epic proportions. Jobs, to his credit, eventually admitted defeat. They went back to the drawing board and came up with a more ergonomic design, a valuable lesson learned. Sometimes you have to prioritize function over form. Outrow, the legacy of Steve Jobs' failures. So there you have it, the other side of the Steve Jobs story. The failures, the missteps, the blunders. But here's the thing about those failures. They made Apple stronger. They taught them valuable lessons about what works and what doesn't. Jobs, for all his faults, understood that. He knew that innovation meant taking risks, and sometimes those risks didn't pay off. But he never let those failures define him, and he never let them stop Apple from pushing the boundaries of what was possible.